and I were talking during the quick break there that he just was right there at the right time, and the openings came and he took full advantage. An over-under to go from 6th to 4th, and then right there, as everything was happening, he kind of checked up and was able to get back on the throttle. It was just a perfect move, knowing the guys in front were going to get aggressive. He was able to come out of that hairpin with the lead, and then really, to be honest, made a really nice run through the left-hander to get to the S's first. Just a really, really strong victory and some just great racing overall.
Yeah, I mean, he drove that one flawlessly. You can't pick anything apart from it, can't take it away. Hard fought, and he gets his first win, and we know another class is going to be hard fought to win. That's this one. The next one up on the age ranks, Nash Motorsports KA 100 Senior onto the racetrack, and your SKUSA Winter Series champion, Peyton Phillips, is going to lead them to the green alongside Isaac Gutierrez in that GFC.
Look at row number 2. Harley Keeble and Frankie Mossman, both those drivers hungry to win here today.
We go back to row number 3. Tevin Robbins has been starting to make a name for himself here today with a good qualifying effort and backed up with a good pre-final result. To his outside will be national contender Vinny Miskelis in the 912.
Let's cap off your top 10. Colin Lloyd and Braden Robertson, row number 4. Lydia Small, good run in the pre-main, working her way up to 9th. Josh Campbell, we know he has the speed, Xander. He'll start 10th.
Some big names still further back. How about Henry Wheeler? Was a month ago a couple corners away from a first national podium in KA Senior action. He rolls off 11th. Ryan Persing, Brooke Berry with her best career starting spot, I believe, on the Pro Tour in 13th. To her outside, Zach Meyer. Kane Martin, your top 15. There's big names still to roll through the field, but up front, it's Phillips and Gutierrez as we bring the 30-plus driver grid to the green for KA Senior. We're underway down to turn number 1.
Let's see how things shake out in 1. A big 90-degree. The double right-handers come back over to that left-hand sweeping turn number 3. Good start and out of the gate so far for Peyton Phillips. And I believe is that Mossman potentially up into the second spot. Need good start. Oh, that's Keeble. Keeble goes to P2.
Mossman side by side with Isaac Gutierrez there going to the bus stop. He'll get through. Gutierrez gives way. Pole Award winner Colin Lloyd gets through into the top 5. Good start for the SCR Red Speed, but up front, Peyton Phillips, Harley Keeble, and in third, Tevin Robbins.
And Xander, you mentioned at P3, not the worst starting spot. You talked about that earlier in the broadcast. Keeble fully taking advantage of that, getting down to the inside. P2 is tough. You really got to be alongside to be able to hold the spot over to turn number 3.
It's so tricky. I don't think we have not seen a single driver from the outside lane get clear in turn 1 and come out of that opening hairpin with the lead. The best we've seen is getting into second. And right now into third, that's still a really respectable start for the off-pole man and Isaac Gutierrez, although he falls back a little further. And now, first challenge for the lead, Harley Keeble going to go through and bring Tevin Robbins up to second through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see Keeble get aggressive early, right? He likes to be out front. We've seen that already in the limited action he's had here in the U.S. Likes to be up front, wants to put the Sody cart there and kind of set the pace early on. I think you'd like to be able to pull away. Remember, 20 laps to distance, long way to go. But the early laps are always crucial. If you can get strong, get pulled away, you're going to find yourself in that lead group of 4 or 5, maybe 6 drivers. Right now, it's a 4-driver breakaway with, as we said, Keeble, Robbins, Phillips, and Mossman now. Mossman trying to find a way by, and coming up there as well will be Colin Lloyd. So these drivers settling in right now. Long way to go. Lloyd actually has a bit of a gap back to Gutierrez.
Yeah, just a little gap back to that GFC. In fact, Gutierrez is now back to the 7th spot as Miskelis has gone through. So Vinny Miskelis up to 6th. There's a big swarm in the midfield further back from 8th onwards as down the front stretch, Harley Keeble trying to get away. You heard the kind of worrisome words from Peyton Phillips as Mossman goes to 3rd from the end of that pre-final where he said, yeah, I'm glad I got away with it. It was good hard racing, but man, Harley is fast. And well, right now we're seeing that PK Sports Sody kart lead the way here and give himself a little bit of a cushion out back. Nobody on his bumper as of yet is Phillips on the Ryan Perry Motorsport Tony kart, and Frankie Mossman's Tesoro Raceworks CRG try to hunt him back down.
Now the interesting thing now, for me at least here, will we potentially see our first leader pull away? I'm not sure whether or not it's going to happen, but yeah, again, Phillips talked about how quick Keeble was. The draft, as we know, plays a big role in the front straightaway here. Let's see whether Phillips and Mossman can hang with them. Not surprising right there, kind of in the fight here as well, is Colin Lloyd. He was quickest there on lap number 2, so good pace out of the gate for Colin Lloyd. But again, Keeble has gone to the lead aggressively early. Peyton Phillips, though, tucking right there on the rear bumper.
Yeah, Colin Lloyd, nice move on Tevin Robbins to take over the 4th spot. Robbins 5th, Miskelis 6th, Gutierrez still 7th over Braden Robertson, who goes purple on his Tesoro Raceworks CRG. Henry Wheeler 9th, Josh Campbell 10th. They're closing back up to the leaders. Harley Keeble was fast early, but I think that big dust cloud going through turn number 1 might have been someone going off earlier, and it probably put some of the marbles and rocks onto the racetrack and maybe had him have to go at about 80 or 90% to navigate that section. It's brought them back together, and Peyton Phillips, if he gets a good run out of this bus stop and into the chicane, might be able to retake the lead at the end of the back straightaway.
Yeah, I don't see Keeble kind of running too defensively early on here as well. Might as well work with the fast lap to try to pull away from everybody further behind. 5 drivers in the lead group right now. Vinny Miskellis, the driver, in 6th position, although, as Xander had mentioned, Braden Robertson was the fastest driver last time by on that CRG at the 101.811. He was about 2/10 click quicker than the leader, but nonetheless, 5-driver breakaway most definitely working in right now, as it is Tevin Robbins at the tail of that front-running quintet.
Colin Lloyd all over the bumper of Frankie Mossman. Mossman had a little look to the inside, feeling like he needed to defend, but then opened up, and they're back nose to tail, 3rd and 4th on the bumper of 1st and 2nd. For Tevin Robbins, still, this has been a very impressive national weekend to this point. I mean, for a kid that really hadn't been mentioned, I don't think at all in any of the national tours so far in 2023, he's making a name for himself right now, running in the lead group against the Winter Series champion, one of the best from over in Europe that was running KZ karts at the highest level just a year ago. Frankie Mossman, who's been a Pro Tour contender and a Supernats win contender, and of course, multi-time race winner Colin Lloyd, all of them right there in reach of Tevin Robbins as we see a pass for 2nd.
Yeah, into the inside there, that left-hander is a good run there for Frankie Mossman, tucking the CRG to the bottom, and a good, good, I want to say, concede, I guess, for Peyton Phillips. There's no need to really fight, no need to pinch back down to the apex right now. So early. The key is there for young drivers coming up through the ranks if you're watching here on Kart Chaser. When a guy makes a move like that, Xander, you know this, the best bet's to kind of tuck right back in, right? You don't want to get yourself forced. You don't want to go back a couple of spots. If he tried to run the outside, you know that Colin Lloyd would have been there to fill it. So for Phillips, a wise move there. Tuck back into 3rd. We're so early in this race.
Yeah, he tucks right back in, and again, by not really making it too painful to change positions, they didn't lose too much time to Harley Keeble. That's the big key factor as well. Not only did he not go any further backwards by just conceding the 1 spot, he minimized the damage, and it's 2 car lengths only to Keeble now, and he'll give Mossman the opportunity to try and reel back in the race leader as he pushes him around towards the double left-hander and into that rhythm section coming to the final 2 turns. So Frankie Mossman with the best opportunity he's seen so far today after a so-so qualifying effort. That Tesoro Raceworks CRG rolling. Here's a look further back as the rest of the field goes on through. Isaac Gutierrez, unfortunately, has been kind of shuffled further and further down the grid. He's now outside the top 10, I think about 12th or 13th when it'll update across the line. 11th correction there as we see the field work its way through turns 1 and 2.
There's a move to the inside there. Peyton Phillips diving to the bottom, owning the apex of turn number 3. Good pass there to get his way back into 2nd. And again, that's the culmination of letting Mossman go back by, not forcing the issue too much, making sure he held on to 3rd, not allowing Colin Lloyd to get back by. Just a couple laps later, he returns the favor, goes back to 2nd. And all of this is allowing Harley Keeble to pull away a little bit. I wonder if anybody's kind of thought about Delta in terms of the draft. What is it going to be? What do you need to pull away from the draft right now? Because Keeble is looking pretty good here. It's about maybe 4 or 5 lengths, but no, really good run through the left-hander there. Again, for Peyton Phillips to close back up.
Yeah, good run for Colin Lloyd as well. He got a really good launch in the 2nd of the 2 right-handers coming onto the front straightaway, so he'll close back up to Phillips. Harley Keeble, though, keeping everybody at bay right now as they battle for 4th. Mossman didn't want to give it up. And oh no! Robbins locks up. He takes them both around in turn number 1. Mossman around in the dirt. And for another race weekend with so much promise, Frankie Mossman finds himself down the leaderboard.
Yeah, Tevin Robbins threw it down the inside trying to get the pass done and just couldn't quite get it. You see the cart as he started to roll into the corner. Got loose, lost the rear end on it, and as he did that, just enough to kind of come over, and it was essentially left rear, right rear contacts. And we've seen that happen many times before. Forcing the issue down in turn number 1, probably could have backed out of that one.
Yeah, I mean, he went for it, right, and Mossman definitely didn't make it easy. At the same time, you know, it over the course of the weekend with all the rubber laid down, the track just gets dirtier and dirtier off the standard racing line, and that's not just the outside in the center of the corner where it picks up, it also develops on the inside of the turns as well. You can see those black dots on the outside of the final turn pretty well, so he could have also underestimated how dirty the racetrack was down on the inside of turn number 1 and lost grip and traction where he probably would have been fine had he been on the normal line going into turn.
So what this has done really, again, is turned this into a 3-driver battle. Remember, we had 5 drivers at one point. Robbins getting together with Moss, but means it's a 3-driver breakaway right now with the drivers up front, Keeble, Phillips, and Lloyd. 1 point.